Hi everyone, the Meet Me for Coffee podcast is at Trimble Insight conference in Las Vegas this week. We'll be releasing content each day that was filmed the day prior with some attendees who are here speaking as guests on the show. We hope that you guys find this content insightful, and hopefully this will help you determine if you're not able to make it this year, if this is definitely a conference you should have on your roadmap for 2025. If you guys are at the conference, please be sure to come by the podcast booth and say hi. Hi guys, I'm here with Keith. Keith, would you mind introducing yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Keith Lawlis. I lead sales and business development for Justransform. We are an integration platform as a service company created in 2011. We released our initial version of our product in 2016. We provide data integration and process integration solutions to stitch the business processes between shippers and carriers and asset-based and brokerages companies to streamline and automate their business process. And so, we are based in Cupertino, California, so we're a US-based company. We're a fast-growing company. Gartner puts us in this iPaaS domain kind of quadrant, which is really, providing integration backbone and technology services. Where we specialize is we bring all the supply chain logistics expertise on top of the integration backbone that's delivering the services. So it's a very modern approach to solving business integration. So when you're talking about an asset-based carrier, you're talking about the need to serve a shipper use case, a process that they push demand on them. We're very active in the shipper community. We have 300 plus shippers as customers. We have 1,000 plus customers overall, but we really understand, when a shipper's using their TMS and they need to integrate out of that TMS, they may be orchestrating freight moves across multiple transportation modes, which could be a parcel shipment, it could be a intermodal shipment, over-the-road shipment. We're stitching all of this integration and automating all these processes with our systems. So we bring these unique insights and understand where the technology is moving, with the, in the industry, because more of these endpoints, more of these technology companies, are developing API-based application composition, and so more of these use cases are moving away from legacy tech, even though there's a lot of EDI type of connectivity, it's more API-led connectivity and more event-driven connectivity. So for example, if you have a shipment and there's an event on that shipment can be exposed in real time, and then we could deliver this message real time into the shipper system so they see the visibility to that data.
Right. I want to ask you something that I think would be really interesting, because you mentioned you work with so many shippers. I think shippers kind of set the rules, right? They create the rules and the expectations for the brokers and the carriers to meet. And I would say really, especially in the last 5 years, we've seen shippers start leaning more into technology instead of just, I think there was a time where maybe we asked some of their larger broker partners to kind of provide it or to shove that on them, but they're really taking responsibility now of owning the process of updating their systems, becoming more technologically inclined. And so how does that work in this space as they're advancing their technology? What type of problems maybe or opportunities is that posing for the brokers or the carriers that are serving them?
Yeah, I think it's important to understand, that the shippers, they can fire you at any time, right? So, the way we think about it and how we solve this problem is make it super simple with a technology platform with out-of-the-box solutions that enable, the broker or the carrier to serve the shipper very quickly on one unified platform. So they no longer have to go out and think about how they solve an automation challenge. Do I need an EDI point solution over here or some API-based solution over here? The shippers, what the shippers want is they invest massive amount of investment into a TMS, for example, and they have to integrate that into their back-end systems. When they think about integrating out into the ecosystem, they want that automated, they want it fast, they want to be able to send a rate request and get back a rate response in real time, They want to be able to do the tendering and the booking of freight, and they want statuses to come back as fast as they possibly can. And so the technology is evolving into supporting those types of technology patterns to give the shipper ultimately, the information they need to run their business.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. It was a pleasure to have you on. And can you please let everyone know how they could connect with you if they're interested in learning more?
Yeah, exactly. Again, Keith Lawlis. You can find me on, LinkedIn. I lead VP of Sales and Business Development for the company. We're at www.justransform.com. Feel free to reach out anytime. We'd love to connect.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much, Samantha.
Hi, guys. I'm here with Steve. Steve, would you mind introducing yourself real quick?
Yes, I'm Steve Schmidt. I'm from McDonald Company. We are a asset-based carrier that does local, regional moves out of like the truck Green Bay area. This is kind of where we...
Okay. And what do you do there?
I am the IT logistics programmer.
Okay. Already questions. I'm always full of questions. So IT logistics programmer for a asset-based trucking company. First question that comes to mind, Steve, how long have you been doing this? How long have you been in the industry?
I've been in the programming trucking space because I started as an intern in trucking at another company about 8-9 years ago is when I started. Right out of college as an intern, I moved my way up into management. I was a director of IT for a while.
Okay.
Now I'm into the programming side of things. So I've been around for a while.
You've seen some things. Yep. So my question is, in the 9 years, almost 10 years now that you have been in the trucking space, working within technology, I'm sure you've seen the fairly rapid evolution of technology. I think it's really, like, in my opinion, the pandemic really accelerated a lot of it, and now it seems like it's everywhere. We're at a Trimble Insight conference specifically dedicated to technology. So in this time, what are some things that have changed, and what does that mean for your role? What is the focal point of what you do now kind of have to become as this evolves?
That's a great question. So as technology emerges, it opens a door to better tracking, faster response, better customer service. So it's great to move that way in technology, but it comes with problems. Like you said, we have people from 18 to 65 in a truck and in the office, and you got to be sensitive to some of the older ones that might not be tech savvy. So you got to be able to train them, get them up to speed so we can continue to move forward in the technology world. That's the hard part. And as programmer logistics, what I got to do is I got to make sure that the software's up and running all the time, right? We got drivers all over the state driving at any hour of the day.
Yeah.
If this goes down, they don't know what they're doing, and now they're blind. So we got to make sure it's up and running, and that's kind of what my job is, to make sure that my customers is operations, and operations is our customer.
Absolutely. Yeah, so two-part. You guys have to kind of make sure you're screening that technology and saying, is this going to fit? Does this work well for us? Is it adding value? And then you have to make sure that you can work through that training process and that implementation and helping make sure that it fits for your people, right?
Exactly.
And then maintaining it, like the maintenance part of keeping it working all the time.
So part of my job is, I love programming, right? I teach programming at a college at night. I love it. I have no problems doing it. I wish I could program all the time. But sometimes me writing a custom program is not the best way. Sometimes buying something that's already pre-built and learning it and getting that out on the floor might be the better way. And then teaching the people on how to use it and support those people is just the way we have to go. So, I would love to sit there and program all day long, but unfortunately that's not always the case. So yes, you have to do the research to find what's going to be best for the company, not just for me as what I want.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing, Steve. It was a pleasure to have you here today.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
And if anyone has any questions or wants to know a little bit more about McDonald Companies, is there a way that they could get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, you can go out to McDonaldsCompany.com. We're out of Green Bay. We're over by Bay Beach, so if you've never been to Bay Beach, we have the Zip and Pippin over there. That was Elvis Presley's favorite roller coaster. So come on out and check us out.
I'm already sold. Like I'll book my ticket tomorrow. I'll
Sounds
be there.
good.
Thank you so much. I'm here with Brian. Brian, would you mind introducing yourself?
Sure. Brian Mulshine. I'm with Trimble. I'm the Senior Product Director for the Trimble Maintenance Solutions, TMT.
Okay. Maintenance Solutions. And Brian, how long have you been with Trimble?
I started about 7.5 months ago. I started in February.
Okay. What did you do prior to joining the team here at Trimble?
Prior to that, I was with a large vehicle manufacturer, International Truck or IC Bus, for 31 years, and also with a large dealer organization, Rush Enterprises, Rush Truck Centers, leading service product technology.
Okay, so now I have to ask, since I asked that question, what has it been like coming to Trimble? You've been here for 7.5 months. I guess what I want to know is you're in the industry, right, and what you did prior to this, but this is pretty different now, right? How is what you did?
Not
okay,
at all.
it's similar. So explain this to me.
Identical.
How is what you did before now helping you create solutions at Trimble that are impacting?
I have a lot more control now, where at the vehicle manufacturers, we really don't have all the data that the customers have.
Right.
Being at Trimble, all the pieces that I did not have as a vehicle manufacturer, yes, I had telematics data and fault code data, but what really matters is driving customer costs and frequency of repairs and where they're going, and we can help improve our customers' uptime and their cost per unit, having the right information. And at Trimble, we are a leader in vehicle maintenance,
right,
and we're going to keep on accelerating that.
Yeah. I'd like to ask this too. I know as we've been in a not very carrier-friendly freight market cycle the last couple of years, and rates have been pretty low.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of carriers have turned to maintenance and looked at the rising costs of maintenance or the cost of keeping their trucks on the road. And we're at this point where some are having to consider, do we park the truck or what do we do? So is now more than ever a time that you guys are focused on trying to help people understand their cost to operate?
Yeah, and that's really what we're talking about here at Insight. We're spending a lot of time showing, and we're focusing our technology at how to provide better insights to manage their cost per unit, their total cost of ownership. Because customers need to have better insights to drive decisions. What assets should they take off the road?
Yeah.
What brand of asset should I focus on? And when I'm having an issue, showing the emerging concerns quicker so they can work with their suppliers to drive that cost out, or recover it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here and for sharing that. I do also want to ask you one last question. How many times have you attended Trimble Insight?
This is my 4th time.
Your 4th time. Your first time as a Trimble employee?
First time as a Trimble employee, and I'm really excited to be here.
Yes. What was always your favorite part about attending this over the last several years? What do you look forward to when you come to Trimble Insight?
Our customers, and even our customers most importantly, but also our partnered vendors. We have so many customers. I call it speed dating.
Yeah.
Being able to see all the vendors that we integrate to and the future vendors that we're going to put on our roadmap, and seeing everybody here, spending time in a more social environment and talking about the future together gets exciting.
Awesome. Well, Brian, thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hi guys, I'm here with Jeremiah. Jeremiah, can you introduce yourself real quickly?
Yeah, absolutely. My name's Jeremiah. I work with Western Dairy Transportation. We are a milk and cream hauler based in South Central Missouri and haul all over the United States.
Awesome. And what do you do there?
I am the lead service advisor, so I deal with all our vendors. I deal with our mechanics. We have 11 terminals that provide mechanical work, so I deal with all of them and take care of that. You're from Kansas, right?
Yes. Yeah, I know. When you said South Central Missouri, I was like, not far from me.
So the real question, though, honestly, and this matters, are we K-State or KU? Because
I'm a Kansas State grad, so I have to go Cats all the way. So I'm sorry to disappoint, but...
No, we don't like Kansas. KU is, it's kind of a swear word in my home.
Would you guys be Missouri Tigers or?
I'm a Mizzou Tiger fan now.
Okay.
I grew up in Iowa though, so I'm an Iowa State guy.
Ah.
And so we really like to beat Kansas and really, really like to beat K-State. So.
I know.
Which we have.
Which I was going to say, which you've probably been good at here lately. So I
right.
have to kind of give you that one.
Lately we have.
Well, talk to me a little bit about, I mean, obviously we're from the Midwest, so dairy, you guys are hauling dairy. I think you said, if I heard you right earlier, 1,700? Or 700 trucks?
We have 700 trucks.
700 trucks.
Within our fleet, and then about 1,000 outside carriers that haul for us as well.
So in your role, you're kind of focused on making sure that you're working with your vendors for maintenance for 700 trucks, and you have 11 terminals that you guys are operating. I know that, here's my question. I was just talking with someone from the Trimble maintenance team. What I want to know is reducing costs within your fleet is a main focus point right now for a lot of carriers because we've been in a not so friendly freight market the last couple of years.
100%.
So I know that dairy is more niche. You guys are probably seeing a little bit easier of time, but how important is evaluating your fleet as an opportunity to reduce costs?
That's a great question because I think statistically there's 14 million trucks on the road right now, and I think I just saw a stat the other day that maintenance has gone up 32% in the last several years. And effectively, if we don't curb that, if we aren't watching our costs, we're going to be, in a lot of trouble. There was also, I think, another statistic that 1 out of 8 freight haulers, faces the possibility of going out of business in the next several months. And maintenance is the biggest cost you have.
Yeah. With
it.
So I come from a brokerage heavy background, and the more I started working with carriers in my career now, the more that's become the reality. I mean, you have different fixed costs, and so it's facing you when you have all of these trucks, and so being able to evaluate that. What's a little bit of like that look like? What would be an example of some of the things that you have to navigate as you're trying to make sure you guys are doing your due diligence to evaluate your maintenance costs?
Oh gosh, I mean that's a whole separate podcast in and of itself.
We do a whole episode. Yes.
I think the biggest thing is if we can do predictive maintenance would be huge. Identifying those problems before they become a problem is really where we want to be at. And if you look at tires, which are the largest expense that we see, navigating that market to the point where we're changing tires when they need to be changed, not just because a driver feels like the tire needs to be changed, is probably our biggest thing. It's my biggest expense right now. Outside, everything that is in our fleet is under warranty. So any major component failure is going to be covered in warranty. So setting that aside, the tires that we buy on our trailers, the tires that we buy on our trucks are our largest expenses.
I think you bring up a really interesting point, actually. If you don't have some type of data giving you insights into like that predictive maintenance, then everything is just based on how does the driver feel about it? How did the shop feel about it? Was it a new technician who was on his 3rd day, right? Fix the tire. I think that there's a lot of things that I've said this a lot, like in different scenarios, but I feel like it's applicable here. If you don't have data, then emotions tend to drive decision making, and in this case, just personal opinions drive decision making, right? Instead of actual data backed need.
Absolutely. And and that's kind of what we're looking for while we're here at Trimble. Is how can we take the analytics that we know and mesh it with that driver and his feelings and his emotions and make this a cohesive unit to where not only is the driver feeling comfortable about what he's doing, but we're carrying a safe product too.
Right. So. Well, thank you so much for joining me to talk a little bit. This was awesome. I enjoyed it. If anyone is interested in connecting with you guys, it sounds like you guys are doing some really cool things in the dairy space. How could they get a hold of your company? Who are they reaching out to?
They can. if you want to drive for me,
Yes.
www.wdtmilk.com. That's WDT Whiskey Delta Tango, like the milk you drink.com. If you're an outside carrier and are interested in hauling for us as well, same website, and we've got great recruiting staff there that takes care of everything.
Awesome.